Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. Okay, I know it's been a while. It's been a while since we have done y'all fave because this gets the most views out of anything. It's my main. It's my main. It's my boo. It's Sherlock. So we're gonna do Sherlock tonight, or today, I should say. Um, as y'all can see by the title, ain't nothing open that late but legs, honey. Okay, and of course, with this title, or on this case, I should say, it's going to be, as always, you guys and Scott and I and Sherlock and Watson, as always, and whoever else tags along as they do. Scott, what do you think ain't nothing open that late but legs mean?
I mean, something's going on late at night.
But in what way?
I'm guessing there's some sex things going on.
Some naughty things are going on, is what Scott meant to say. Okay, so today we're going to go over the adventure of the Golden Pince-Nez. Do you know what Pince-Nez are, Scott?
Pince-Nez?
Pince-Nez.
No.
I didn't know either until I read this story. Okay, so, let's get started because we got to do our Sunday Fun Day school too. So, it was a dark and stormy night. No, I'm kidding. But it was dark and stormy. So, as we start off, it's like super dark, it's super stormy. Like, Sherlock is like, oh my God, there's like a whole hurricane going on out here. This is crazy. This is a mess. Oh my God. And so they see a horse and buggy pull up. And Sherlock is like, oh, baby. I'm just gonna read y'all this part. I'm gonna read y'all the part. Because Sherlock is like, oh girl. It's actually the title. Amid the droning of the wind, there had come the stamping of a horse's hoof and the long grind of a wheel as it rasped against the curb. Shit, it sounds like me driving. I am a curb checker, baby. The cab, which I had seen, had pulled up to our door. What can he want? I ejaculated as a man stepped out of it. Want? He wants us. And we, my poor Watson, want overcoats and cravats and galoshes and every aid that man ever invented to fight the weather. Wait a bit, though. There's a cab off again. There's hope yet. He'd have kept it if he wanted us to come. Run down, my dear fellow, and open the door. For all virtuous folks have been long in bed, honey. What he say? Ain't nothing open this late but legs, baby. Okay, the freaks come out at night. Well, yeah. That's, you don't want people seeing what you're doing. Get out your business. So in comes, who you think it was, Scott?
I don't know.
Detective Stanley Hopkins. And he's like, oh my God, Sherlock, oh my God. Something happened. Have you been reading the paper? And Sherlock was like, sir, I don't know how many times I have told you people, I am busy. Okay, I'm busy. Think of me like Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson or even, Mike Tyson, y'all. Like, stop thinking of me as a regular dude. I'm not a regular dude. I be busy. So no, I don't have time to just be sitting around, just, thumbing it through the paper. I'm a busy man. What happened? And so, Hopkins, we just gonna call him Hopkins. Or no, do we want to call him Stan the Man? We're gonna call him Stan the Man. So Stan the Man is like, oh, okay, well then let me tell you what happened. And he was like, you know what? Don't even worry about it because what they put in the paper was wrong anyway. So I'm glad you didn't see it because it would have just confused you. And so, he went on. Sorry, I want to take this sticky out so I don't reread this because y'all gonna get upset. There's a lot of stickies we gonna read today. So he's like, let me tell you the real deal, Holyfield, so you can help me because I can't figure this out because none of us are as good as you. And so Holmes is like, bet, go off. So they, they found a man unalived. They got rang in because some man was unalived in an office of his boss. He's the secretary. The man's name is Willoughby Smith, and he's the assistant to Professor Quorum, who is a older gentleman who, he can't get around. He barely walking, honey. He barely hobbling. But he is yet a professor. And even though he's retired, the professor was like, you know what? I'm going to start writing books for people to learn stuff. So Smith is his secretary that's helping him type the book, because also the man can't see that well either. He getting old. He up there. He like 70, 80. He getting old. And in this house now, Sherlock is like, okay, what's going on with the household? Who's who? It's like a game of Clue here. We got to figure out who's what and what's who. And so Sherlock is like, who all live there? Well, there's the housekeeper, there's the maid, there's the gardener who wheels, Mr. Smith around, but he's a military vet. He got his pension and he just working there because he need a little extra supplementary income. And he lives off, the gardener lives off in the garden somewhere. And then of course Smith, but he's the victim, not the criminal. And so he's like, those people live there, but they hardly ever go anywhere. And of course, like we said, the Professor Quorum, he ain't going nowhere, child. So everybody just kind of does their thing and lives in the house. So there's no reason for anybody to break in. Like the maid and the housekeeper ain't got no lovers or nothing. They ain't got no men. Like they just in the house. And so Sherlock is like, okay. So he's like, well, tell me about how this man, got unalived. And basically the housekeeper was downstairs. She was ironing the drapes and putting the drapes back up. And all of a sudden she said she heard a loud scream. And she was like, what in the hell is that? And she was like, oh my God, it came from in the house. And so she runs to where she thinks the scream was. She opens the door and there is Smith just laying there with it was like a letter opener or something, just hanging out his throat. And he, she thought he was gone, but then she poured a little water on him. She just was like, hen. And he woke up and he was like, the professor, it was she. And so the maid said after that, he just went on and passed away, child. He was gone. R.I.P. to Smith. R.I.P. You went out of G, sir. So, Sherlock was like, okay, so you came up this way. You came up the stairs here. So could the person, or, he was like, could the person have went out another way? And so, Stan the man was like, nah, it should have been one way out. So Sherlock was like, okay, well, did you investigate the one way out? It was like through a window and then through the garden or whatever. And so, Stan the man was telling him the little stuff that he had. And let me tell you, Sherlock was here to drag, honey. Sherlock is always here to drag, but this is one of my fave drags. Okay, let's peek into my man real quick. You ready, Scott? You want to peek into Sherlock and hear him drag a little bit?
I'm ready.
That old English drag. One moment, said Holmes. What does this path? Where does this path lead to? To the road. How long is it? 100 yards or so. At the point where this path passes through the gate, you could surely pick up the tracks. Unfortunately, the path was tiled at that point. Well, on the road itself, no, it was all trodden into mere. Tut. I'm sorry. I'm going to use that word from now on. Scott, like, say something to me. Say something to me. I'm going to show you an example of tut. Say
okay. Hey, how's it going?
Tut.
All right.
Period. That is my new thing. Do you want a Happy Meal, ma'am? Tut. That is my new thing. Everything's going to be tut. Do you want to round up? Tut.
Well, that should be fun.
I'm going to leave it very ambiguous. I want to just leave things very ambiguous from now on. Well, then, these tracks upon the grass, were they coming or going? It's impossible to say. There was never any outline, a big foot or a small foot. You could not distinguish. It has been pouring rain and blowing a hurricane ever since, he said. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I skipped a part. I'm sorry. Holmes gave an ejaculation of impatience. It has been pouring rain and blowing a hurricane ever since, he said. It will be harder to read now than that. Oh, girl, I don't know what this word is. PALIMPSEST, that. After you wait. Yeah. Well, it can't be helped. What did you do, Hopkins, after you made certain that you made certain of nothing? Period. Okay. Sherlock was like, so, okay, after you just did a bunch of nothing, and you made certain that you did a bunch of nothing, because you brought me nothing. I don't know nothing more than what you told me before. I just know a man was unalive via a letter opener. What did you do after you made certain that you brought me no information, sir? Okay. I was like, yes. And then here comes saying the man. I think I made certain of a great deal, Mr. Holmes. Like, sir, no, you didn't know. You didn't know if it was a Bigfoot or a small foot. You don't know if it was coming or going. You didn't know nothing. You gave nothing, sir. And you the police. Anyway. So after that, he was like, well, you know what, Sherlock? I did do something since you just gonna drag me. I did give you a sketch of the actual house. Boom, here it is right here, y'all. Okay, y'all get that in there because you might solve the crime before Sherlock do, Scott. Make sure you pay close attention to them details. Okay. Did you get everything? You see this outline, this map? Take it all in. Take it all in, y'all. Let me know if you solve it before we done here. You know, so Sherlock is like, okay, did you have anything else? And so he was like, yes, actually we do. I did find a clue. And Sherlock was like, oh, what is it? And he was like, it's these Golden Pince-Nez. They're glasses. I don't know where the hell they got that name from. It don't matter. It don't matter. Because we don't speak that language no more. But we need to know it for this. So Sherlock is like, okay, hey, look at these golden glasses. Look at my golden glasses. Aren't these cute? Yes. So Scott, look at those glasses. Whoa. And so Sherlock is like, I'm gonna try them on. Let me see what happened. He was like, yes. How do I look? He tried them on. He was like, I see you. I see you. I see you then. So, you know, he looked at the glasses and he was like, oh, okay, cool. So he turns over, he writes some stuff down. And this is what Mr. Sherlock Holmes writes down. He was like, this is your, well, let me just read what he said. That's the best I can do for you, he said. It may prove to be of use. The astonished detective read the note aloud. It read as follows. Wanted. A woman of good address, attired like a lady. I mean, what else would she be attired like? She has a remarkably thick nose with eyes which are set close upon either side of it. She has a puckered forehead, a peering expression, and probably rounded shoulders. There are indications that she has had recourse to an obstetrician at least twice during the last few months. As her glasses are of remarkable strength, and as obstetricians are not very numerous, there should be no difficulty tracing her. So Holmes gave him that. And so, you know, Stan the man is like, I'm sorry. How the hell did you get all that? And Holmes is like, dude, look at the glasses. I tried them on. Did you try the glasses on? No. Again, I said you made certain of nothing. And it stands, you know, what I said stands. He was like, look at these glasses. He was like, look at my face skinny. You know, look at the this is for a bigger nose, blah, blah, blah. He broke it down for him. And, you know, Stan the man was like, oh my God, that's crazy that you knew that. And Holmes is like, dude, that's what I'm here for. Like, that's why you're here, because you a fan, sir. You a fan, okay? So, period. So, you know, he was like, so Sherlock was like, I even though I just gave you all them clues, some tell me that you still need me. So he was like, can we just leave tomorrow? Because look outside, ain't nothing open this late but legs, honey. There is a whole hurricane out here. Why don't you go get on the couch and go to sleep? I'm gonna have my maid wake you up when it's time, and we'll head out early the morning so I can make certain of something because you made certain of nothing. Period. And so off, they went to sleep. And so the next day they go out to the house is called Yorksley Old Place. That's the name of, just for future reference. Maybe they'll ask you guys on Jeopardy or something. One never knows. Now you know. So, he goes, Sherlock goes, and he's looking around. First, he looks at that place. Remember how I said, like, there was this strip of land and, like, Stan the Man made certain of nothing? So Sherlock goes there first, and he's like, let me just look at this little piece of ground that you said she escaped through. Let me go look over here. So he looks, and he's looking, and he's like, and he's like, so all this is dirt and stuff, and ain't no footprints here for real. And he was like, so she was supposed to, even though she got these thick glasses that I got right here, I got her glasses here. She supposed to see how she is gonna walk along this little strip of land right here and not make no footsteps. That's crazy, man. She's talented. Who is she? Dominique Dawes. What's the gymnast name? What's that little gymnast? Simone Biles. Who is she? Simone Biles. Like, girl, no. But yes, whatever. So Sherlock was like, this ain't where we need to be. So then he goes about questioning the staff. And, pretty much he gets the same story that Stan the Man gave him. But then he's like, let me take my little glass and let me go get my looking glass thing, because that's important. I don't know why I forget this every time. It's sad. It's a sad, cruel world out here. Okay, so Sherlock is walking around and he's like, ugh. And then all of a sudden he looks at the desk and he's like, wait a minute, what's that scratch right there? Why didn't nobody tell me about this scratch? Stan the Man, didn't I tell you you gave me nothing on nothing? So he's like, there's this scratch over here on this chest over here, like right here. Like, do y'all see that scratch over there? Yeah, somebody tries to get in this cabinet over here. And so, finally Sherlock is like, just take me to the professor. Take me to the professor. Oh, and by the way, I forgot this part. I always forget a part. Sherlock double checked on that professor. He was like, I know that he handicapped and he ain't getting around like he used to, however, space. Are y'all sure he wasn't out the bed? And the maids assured him. They assured him that man can't put on no clothes without help, nothing. He is pretty much bedridden. And they also said the gardener did not, was not supposed to come upstairs until 12. So nothing was going on there. So Sherlock gets up in there, and let me read y'all about this man, because he's something, honey. He's something special. So he goes into Professor, we just gonna call him the professor. He goes up into the professor's room. And this man is just sitting there looking a mess. Okay, I'm just gonna read how they say he is. It was a very large chamber lined with innumerable volumes, which had overflowed from the shelf and laid in piles in the corner, or were stacked around at the base of the cases. These are books. They enter his room, and this is what they saw. They saw bookshelves with books all over the place. The bed was in the center of the room, and in it, propped up with pillows, was the owner of the house. I had seldom seen a more remarkable looking person, period. It was a gaunt, aquiline face, which was turned towards us, with piercing dark eyes, which lurched in deep hollows under overhung and turfed brows. His hair and beard were white, save that the latter was curiously stained with yellow around his mouth. Girl, why is your mouth yellow around there?
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, you'll find out. You'll find out here soon. Here we go. A cigarette glowed amidst the triangle of white hair, and the air of the room was fetish with stale tobacco smoke. As he held out his hand to Holmes, I perceived that it was stained with yellow nicotine. He done smoked and smoked and smoked and smoked back. A smoker, Mr. Holmes, he said, speaking in well chosen English, with a curious little mincing accent. Pray take a cigarette. And you, sir, I can recommend them, for I have them especially prepared by Iondes of Alexandria. He sends me 1,000 at a time. Like, sir, a lot of cigarettes. Okay, wait. He sends me 1,000 at a time, and I agreed to say that I have to arrange for a fresh supply every fortnight. Now, I don't know if y'all know what a fortnight is. Scott, do you know how long a fortnight is?
I think it's 2 weeks.
Yep, it's 14 days. Sir, you smoking 1,000 cigarettes in 14 days, are you? That's why your mouth yellow.
Yeah, that's a lot of cigarettes.
Sir, you are unaliving yourself with cigarettes smoking. That is a lot of damn cigarettes. Like, sir. Bad, sir. Very bad. But an old man has few pleasures. Tobacco and my work. That is all that is left to me. Holmes lit a cigarette and with shooting little darts glanced around the room. So he over there like, oh, okay, you still talking, huh? Let me get that cigarette, baby. From Alexandria. Let me get that cigarette. Let me get that Egyptian cigarette. So, Sherlock is smoking a bunch of cigarettes and he pacing around. And I mean, my man got like a bunch of these are my little cigars. If you guys like cigars, get these Sweet Janes. I've loved these things. They have a sugar in the tip. They're sugar in like the tip. So when you're smoking it, it's not so harsh. Anyway, these are my cute little cigarettes. But be warned, cigars are not a safe alternate to cigarettes. They're not. But if you smoking 1,000 of them, you might as well get something a little bigger. He just like, Sherlock is over there just smoking away. Sherlock is like, yes, baby, I smoke too. I does it too. So Sherlock is smoking cigarettes back to back to back and questioning this man. And, he's like, okay, so, the man is unalive, Smith is unalive, what do you know? And, the professor's like, oh, I just heard a scream and I was up here smoking with cigarettes, smoking my life away, honey, smoking my mouth yellow. And so he was like, I just sat here listening and waiting for somebody to come and tell me what was going on and smoking cigarettes. And so Sherlock is like, oh, okay. So, what do you think happened? Like, he said, Professor, it was she. So what do you think happened? And he just sitting there puffing away at his millionth cigarette for the 15 minutes they've been there. And he's like, oh, I think he unalived himself. He just right to the neck.
Okay.
And he's like, Sherlock is like, well, I was using my little magnifying glass and, I saw a scratch on your little cabinet thing. It wasn't there before. I asked the maid and she polishes the cabinet all the time and it wasn't there before. So, how do you explain that? Was somebody trying to rob you? And he's like, man, here's another cigarette. Here, take the whole damn case of cigarettes. And here's the key to it. He was like, I don't think nobody robbed me. I think that man unalived himself. And so, Sherlock is like, oh, okay. Well, I'm done smoking with cigarettes. Let me go on downstairs and let me go talk to your staff one more time. Because I see you. I see you, sir. I see you, Scott. I see you guys out there too. I see y'all. He see y'all. So he goes downstairs and he talks to the housekeeper. And, Sherlock then smoked about 1 million cigarettes. So he got a slight high probably. And he's talking to the housekeeper and he's like, I just sat up there and smoked all them cigarettes with that man. and now I don't have an appetite. He was like, do the professor really be eating that much? Because usually when you smoke a bunch of cigarettes, it suppresses that appetite. And so the housekeeper was like, yeah. She was like, usually he don't eat that much, but lately, he's wanted double, sometimes triple the food. She was like, I thought it was weird that this man is eating after that poor man that unalived up in his office, but hey, the world got different people for a reason. And so Sherlock was like, bet. And so, they go out, they go have some lunch. And after that, they go back up to the professor's room. And so, the professor, of course, is still sitting there smoking them damn cigarettes, smoking with cigarettes. And he's like, okay, cool. He was like, so, and the professor was like, did you come up with anything? And Sherlock is like, yeah, I came up with the fact that whoever, did like unalive your secretary is right here in his house right now, in his room even. What you think about that, Scott? We're waiting for your words of wisdom here.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's concerning.
It's never concerning when Sherlock's with us here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to find out who it is.
Well, yeah. So he's like, the murderer is right here in this room with us right now. And so, the professor sitting there looking at him, he gagging. He like, wait, let me get my cigar. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to have a cigarette in my hand because this man ain't dropped one. So I need two. The man like, oh. So he fake laugh. That's crazy. You crazy. And so Sherlock is like, no, I'm telling you that, that person is in here. So the professor like, well, since you think somebody in here, where the hell they at? Where they at? Scott, where they at?
In there.
I'm smoking. And so Sherlock was like, sir, look at this bookshelf right here. Okay? You see that bookshelf? You see how all these other bookshelves got books on them, but this one doesn't. Ain't no book. You got books piled around the damn bookshelf, but you ain't putting no books on the bookshelf, huh? Look at you. How cute. Open that thing up. And boom, he didn't even open it up. Out pops a woman.
All right.
Okay. Out pops a whole human woman. Okay. She just ran out like, oh my God. And she's full of dirt, full of dust, full of cobwebs, looking a mess, not looking her best. And she's squinting because she can't see. And it was dark up in that behind that thing. And she just like, girl, I can't see. And where are my glasses? I can't see. I can't see. And so Sherlock is like, boom, I told you. And the professor is just sitting there totally gagging. He's just like, he having a panic attack. Really, he is. But sir, just puff on a cigarette. Don't get a brown paper bag, baby. Just get you some nicotine, honey. You don't need no brown paper bag when you got all them cigarettes. You got 1,000 cigarettes from Cairo. Just get you some cigarettes and it'll help you kind of get your breathing back into rhythm. What say you, Scott? I should have been a doctor, not a storyteller.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
What? That the cigarette won't help him with his panic attack? Breathing?
Maybe, I guess.
He's good at it. He smokes 1,000 cigarettes every 2 weeks, so he should be really good at getting his breath under control. Period. So, she pops out and the professor's just there gagging. He don't know what the hell to do. And so, the lady's like, before that, Sherlock was he kind of was letting his mask slip. So Sherlock was like, let me tell you something. I wasn't just smoking them cigarettes to just smoke them, even though those were quality bomb cigarettes. So I thank you for letting me waste all your cigarettes. Order a whole nother thing of them because those were good. I slipped a couple in my pocket. He was like, I wasn't just smoking cigarettes just to be smoking with cigarettes. He was like, I was smoking all them cigarettes so I could leave all that ash in front of that bookcase that I thought that somebody was behind. Because why books over here, why books over there, and books all on the floor, but ain't none here? That's weird. And he was like, something else. I know somebody up in there. And I know what happened was that person that's up in that behind that fake bookshelf was here stealing from you in that little closet cabinet thing that got the scratch on there in your office. Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
She was trying to steal. Then here come your secretary bothering her as she was stealing. She got scared. Her thick old glasses got knocked off. She got scared. She grabbed the first thing she could and this is just a lighter, and just boom, and hit him in the neck, and then boom, he went down. Then she got scared because here come people, because he's screaming and yelling and carrying on. And boom, she runs down the hallway. She can't see. She don't know the house like that. She runs into your room, and boom, you hide her, sir. Professor just sitting up there like, oh my God, just cigarettes everywhere, like, what? And then boom, out comes a woman. Like, oh my God. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's never happened to me. I'm not saying it hasn't happened to other people, but it has happened to me. So I think that's crazy.
I agree.
Has it happened to you, Scott?
Has not.
Damn. Maybe it's happened to one of y'all out there. So we find out that her name is Anna. And not only that, she is the professor's wife, period. And let me just read. Okay, this is the final part I'm gonna read here because Anna had me gagging. Anna had the professor and me gagging. Okay, because Anna was here to spill the tea. She was spilling all said tea. Okay, so here come Anna. Anna then busted out the from behind the shelf. I only have a little time here, she said, but I would have you know the whole truth. I am this man's wife. It's like an episode of Cheaters. That's my new thing. I've been watching a lot of Cheaters. Scott is making me, he's forcing me to watch a lot of Cheaters. And that's how that be happening. People just be busted out and the people be like, who are you? I'm his wife. Like, ma'am, he on a date with his wife, ma'am. You the side person. Anyway, I am this man's wife. He is not an Englishman. He is a Russian. His name I will not tell. For the first time, the old man stirred because, he had his whole panic attack, honey. He had his whole life flash before his eyes because Sherlock put his business on blast. Anyway, for the first time, the old man stirred. God bless you, Anna, he cried. God bless you. She cast a look of the deepest disdain in his direction. Now, remember, this woman said, his name I will not tell, okay? Remember, she said that. So he just simply said, God bless you, Anna, God bless you. She looked at him like, I hate you. Why should you cling so hard to that wretched life of yours, Sturgis? Girl, you didn't put his name out there. Girl. Okay, Anna, girl. She said, it has done harm to many and good to none, not even yourself. However, it is not for me to cause the frail thread to be snapped before God's time. I have enough already upon my soul since I crossed the threshold of this cursed house, but I must speak or I shall be too late. And y'all keep that, or I will be too late going in your mind because it got something to do with some. Okay, so boom. Sturgis, but let me tell you something. All through here, Sturgis still got them cigarettes, baby. Sturgis ain't let go, honey. He like, oh my God. He probably got even more because he's stressed out because now the wife did popped out of the closet, honey. It's like R. Kelly in the closet, trapped in the closet, child. She was trapped in the bookcase. So, She's like, okay, before it's too late, just shut up, y'all, and listen to what I got to say. I got a lot to tell y'all, and I'm looking a little frail over here. Okay, and it's not that bad food, and it's not being in this bookshelf that is the problem here. So, she gives a lengthy spiel about why she is there, how we got here. Okay. So, just to tie it all together. So, Anna and the professor back in their young days, guess what they was doing? Trying to overthrow the Russian government, period. They were. Okay, that's what they was doing. Now, mind you, let me also put you on a little more game, because Anna was a little pissed at this man, and she was spilling all the tea. Number one, she was like, Sturgis, when he got me, I was 20 and this fool was 50. And I was like, okay, Anna's mad, honey. You done stole the best years of her life on some foolishness. Yeah. So they were revolutionaries, and they decided they were wanting to overthrow, the Russian government. They were tired. So some kind of way they got caught. Sturgis said, oh, no, baby, I'm not going to the gulags. You're not going to have me up in Siberia. I've been watching recaps of Medea too. Scott's been making me do that. And that's where the Siberia, y'all not gonna have me up in Siberia. Okay, I'm not doing that. So what I'm gonna do is throw all y'all asses under the bus, to include my hot, sexy young wife. Throw everybody under the bus. That is what he did. And then he fled and hid in Europe, or England, not just all of Europe, England. And Anna, ended up going to jail. She ended up going to Siberia, but she also had a lover. I think he was a lover. She kept saying that was her friend and he was a good man. Girl, that's your lover. Because the thing she about to do for this man is more than BFF. Yeah. Okay. So his name Alexis. So Alexis, like, Anna eventually got out. I don't know how or what she did, but she eventually got out. But Alexis was still down to the gulags in Siberia. And she's like, oh, no. He's a good man, Savannah. He is a good man, Savannah. So she was like, I got to get this man out. And I got to get revenge on my old punk husband who done threw me under the bus, even though I'm the best thing he got. Meanwhile, again, he's still sitting over there talking about God bless you, Anna. And smoking them damn cigarettes and making the rest of his mouth yellow. He just over there like, oh my God. Oh, And so Anna was like, I decided to come all the way over here to get these papers and take them to the Russian embassy to get Alexis off, because this fool hid all the documents so he didn't have to go to them gulags. And he know damn well he supposed to be up in them gulags right now. And he over there like, Anna, you were always so good to me, baby. So, she came in and then she said, the rest is as you said it, Sherlock. This fool, snuck up on me. I got quick cat reset because I've been in a gulag in Siberia. I had to do what I had to do to survive. So your girl got some hands on her. And I made sure I ended him. And then he laid down. And she was like, the reason why he said the professor, it is she gave the whole thing. She was like, the reason why she said the professor, it is she was like, because I had been sneaking around getting keys from his old assistants, because he had two previous ones who didn't like him, the professor. They hated him. So one of them gave her the key to the chest and the key to the front door. And then she had bumped into his current secretary thinking he was cool and down for the get down. It was going to give her some info, and he wasn't. So she had to bag out. And so when the secretary came to the house, he told the professor, I bumped into some chick looking for you. Her name was Anna. And the professor, again, still just sitting there puffing. So, she's like, okay, Sherlock, that's all I got to say. Why don't you take this thick old packet and take this to the Russian embassy? Because let me tell you something, baby. I'm out of here. And Sherlock's like, no, y'all grab her. And she's like, hey, fool, I done survived everything. I am a Russian revolutionary. You don't think I took the poison before I came and slid up from out of that thing? My girl done took some poison. She out of here. She completed her mission. Period. Period. So Anna gave she gave her life for it, honey. Anna said, I ain't got nothing to live for if Alexis ain't free. That's love.
Yeah.
And so she, unalive right on there. And she, Sherlock was like, he looks at, Stan the man, and he's like, did it answer all your questions? And did I not tell you that you gave me a bunch of nothing when you sat up there and told me that stuff about the garden, sir? And he was like, so y'all clean this up. What I'm going to do is this woman's unalive and wish and take this package so Alexis can be free, because she gave her life. She laid her life down on the line for that man to be free. So let me complete that, because she the type of chick that'll come back and haunt you, baby. Period. If I don't do what she need me to do, she going to be in my dreams. Period. So with that is the story.
Well,
what did you have, Scott?
That was quite the adventure.
Yeah. What did you guys think? What y'all think? Put it down in the comments. Okay, so we haven't done this in a while, but we got to get our Scooby snack on.
All right.
Yeah. Scott, what do you want?
Surprise me.
Surprise you.
I remember what we had.
Okay, well, here we go. Yo. What is it?
Shrimp chips.
Curry shrimp chips, I think. Curry shrimp crackers, I believe.
All right.
Period. Okay, let's see what we getting into. It don't smell bad. Oh, look, they're puffy. Oh, they are shrimp chips. I love shrimp chips. I used to eat them when I was a little girl. Oh, these are good. Oh, I love it. Oh, these are nice. Totally get these. Oh, these are lovely.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, it's so good.
Nice taste. Good texture.
It's so good. And it got a little kick to it. Oh, I like that. Okay. So with that, oh wait, I forgot lessons learned. Did you have any lessons learned, Scott? Did you guys have any lessons that you learned from this story?
I don't really have one.
I do. If it's late at night, stay home. Close your legs and close your eyes and go to bed. That's all. Don't hide people. Yeah, don't hide people in your secret. No, you know what? Don't smoke. Don't smoke. Smoking is bad.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Smoking is bad, because the professor was over there. I mean, when I say they said he lit up like all them cigarettes, they say he lit up all them cigarettes. So smoking's bad. Okay. Okay, so with that, we bid you guys adieu. From wherever we are to wherever you are, peace, love, happiness. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Check out some of the other videos, comment, all of that good stuff. And we will see you guys later. Bye, 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 bye.